What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weir, and we are back talking about WandaVision. I know it has been a couple of weeks, and I was like, I'm going to review every single episode on a weekly basis, but two things happened. First of all, well, let's just be honest, there's not a ton of content. It's like a 30-minute episode in each WandaVision, and unless you're going to do an Easter egg spoiler breakdown of every single episode like a lot of channels do, there's just not a lot of info in these things, so it's kind of hard to just keep pushing out reviews. On top of all that, I have been busy with work. I'm going to adjust my shirt there. There we go. But yeah, I've been busy with work. Last weekend, I wasn't even home. I was gone on the road in another state, so can't take my equipment with me. Be kind of hard to pack the umbrellas and the lights and all the stuff. So it was going to be like this weird camera angle thing, or I was just going to have to wait. So here we are. We're 3 episodes more into WandaVision, so we're talking about episode 4, episode 5, and episode 6. I'm not going to go into like crazy detail. I'm not going to spoiler breakdown. This isn't going to be an hour-and-a-half video, but it is going to be a catch-up. It's going to be my thoughts. It's WandaVision. Let's do it. Alright guys, so WandaVision, episode 4 was called Pardon the Interruption because they interrupted what was going on inside the bubble to kind of give you an idea of what was going on outside the bubble, which I really liked. We got to see Jimmy Woo, which was cool. He's from the Ant-Man movies, and then we got to see what happened with Monica Rambeau, how she got into the bubble, and of course we know how she got out of the bubble. But what was really cool about that episode, one of my favorite things in that episode was seeing Monica Rambeau actually come back from being blipped, right? That's what they've called it. They've called the snap or the blip, whatever they're calling it. Actually getting to see characters come back from that was really cool, how they got formed. I don't remember it being like that in Spider-Man Far From Home. Maybe it was, but didn't they just appear on the court? And it wasn't like, they kind of made a joke out of it, but this was like a serious moment. Monica was waiting for her mother to recover from surgery, and so she woke up in the same hospital that she had been in, but when she woke up, her mother, 5 years later, had passed. And so now she's dealing with that trauma and also dealing with the fact that she was gone, blip, dead, whatever you want to call it, for 5 years. And it's just what happened in that time. Then you find out a little bit more about Wanda. You find out that she broke into where Vision's body was being held and took it and left. So that episode was pretty cool. I liked seeing all the behind-the-scenes things. All the questions I had in episodes 1 and 2, and even 3 were explained in this Pardon the Interruption episode. I mean, even the glove being pushed away, pushing the book away, right, as WandaVision episode 1, I think it was, that was ending, and we were like, whose glove was that? We found out that it was actually Darcy from Thor: The Dark World, which is really cool because that character was funny. I enjoyed that character in that movie. It's one of the few enjoyable things about that movie, actually. So getting to see her brought to the forefront in this was really cool. I was like, yeah, you definitely deserve more spotlight. So that was fun, and I liked that episode kind of filled you in and got you ready for the next episode. And the next episode was called On a Very Special Episode, and this episode sort of emulated 80s and 90s things. It kind of took Full House and it kind of took Roseanne. It took some 80s and 90s and kind of pushed it together, which I like. I like the theme of kind of moving forward with how time has progressed with sitcoms, and it's incorporating that. I really look forward to episode 7, which looks like is going to be more of an office theme where they're talking to cameras, talking directly to the camera. Like, I don't know why they do that. It's just kind of cool. So yeah, in this episode, of course, the big reveal, the big theme, and there were some other themes thrown into this episode, but the biggest theme was the very end of the episode when Vision has started to figure this thing out, and he confronts Wanda about it. Wanda gets a knock on the door, and it's Quicksilver, but it's not Aaron Taylor Johnson. And that would have been cool in and of itself. It's like, okay, they finally brought Aaron Taylor Johnson, the only good guy in the MCU to die and not be brought back. And, Endgame notwithstanding, we still don't know what's going on there. It looks like Cap's coming back, and let's be honest, Iron Man will probably be back. But yeah, the only good guy to die in the movies and not come back was Quicksilver, which is very strange. Like, do you guys just not like Aaron Taylor Johnson, or did you need that death to stick with Wanda to build this WandaVision show? Which, by the way, the insight, if that's what they were going with back then, that's really cool. If they needed that death to impact her through WandaVision, which was going to take place 5 years after Age of Ultron, that's really cool. I really like that they did that. But of course, we don't get Aaron Taylor Johnson. We get Quicksilver's Evan Peters from the Fox universe, and that was awesome. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I texted my wife, I was like, you've got to watch this episode. And she liked it, and I liked it, and I was so happy that he was in this, because that just blows open the potential for this series and how they're going to merge the Fox universe. And we always wondered too, are they going to merge the Fox universe, or are they just going to say, hey, we've got New Mutants now. We've got mutants, not New Mutants. That abomination that came out last summer. No, we've got mutants, right? And so just this one's Wolverine and this one is Professor X. But now you have the potentially, depending on where they go with Quicksilver, you have the potential of actually bringing in those actors, bringing in those characters, and who wouldn't want to see those actors again? All of those actors were great in the, well, most of those actors were great in the Fox X-Men movies, and so who wouldn't want to see that? I would love to see that, and that to me was the biggest part about episode 5. And yes, it was a very special episode because, man, it means the Fox universe exists at the same time as the MCU. And finally, guys, we're going to talk about the last episode, which was the Halloween Spooktacular, I believe was the name of the episode. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down here. If I was right, I'll just be like, hey, I was right. So you're going to see one of those things pop up. I don't know at this current time, but I'm not going to stop to look at my phone. But yeah, so Halloween episode, I loved it. I love anything Halloween. So when I found out it was a Halloween episode, I was like, yes, this is going to be fun. And then you see Vision in his old classic costume. Actually, you see everybody. You see Quicksilver in his old classic costume. You see both of Wanda's kids in their classic costumes. And you see Wanda in her classic outfit too. And that is so cool. But this episode actually gave us more substance than I think any other episode has done. And that's where Vision walks around the town and he sees people, and they're kind of like going through the motions, but that's all they're doing. And you see one lady who's doing this, she's crying because she's trapped in her own head, and that's dark. It's sad. And if Wanda's doing that, Wanda is an actual villain. And then Vision walks to the edge of town and he breaks through the bubble. But when he gets through the bubble, he starts to disintegrate and fall apart, which is what we were wondering. Could Vision, of all the other characters, survive outside of whatever this Wanda bubble is? Because, I mean, if he can, then cool. We got Vision back in the Marvel movies. But if he can't, what is going to happen? I mean, is Wanda's bubble eventually just going to cover the earth? And maybe that's the case, because when she realized what was happening, boom, she expanded the bubble and it zipped over Vision and he was back to being normal Vision. I mean, she loves Vision. She does not want him to go. She needs him. And that was cool. But again, what's going to happen if she continues to expand and say she expands around the entire world? Is that how we're getting mutants? That's one of the things. That's a question I have. Is that how we're getting mutants in the MCU officially? Like, she's just going to expand over everybody and it's going to kind of change some people's particles and maybe it won't change other people's particles. But there's a lot of questions still. But finally, the last thing I want to talk about from that episode, my favorite part of the episode. And again, I told you, I'm not dissecting these breakdown by breakdown. I'm just talking about certain things I like from these episodes. And the last thing was when Quicksilver said to her, well, he already killed him once. He can't die again. Quicksilver shouldn't know that, especially if he's supposed to be Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver, who's been dead for a long time. He should not know that. So Wanda, boom, blasted him, and he flew through some hay because they were at this Halloween setup and crashed into something, and then Wanda did her thing where she expanded the bubble, and they haven't gone back to that moment yet, with Quicksilver kind of outing himself as not being the real Quicksilver. And if he's not the real Quicksilver, but he has Quicksilver powers, where is he from? But guys, it's just, WandaVision has gone from, why did I waste my time, to, oh my God, why do I only get 28 minutes total? I love this show so much. I don't think I'll ever rewatch those first 2 episodes, but when this series is over, I'm binging the entire thing in a day. Like, I'm just going to go back through and enjoy it one time all the way through. And then we get Winter Soldier and Falcon. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I always say that backwards. It's going to be irritating when I do reviews on it. But yeah, we got so much Marvel coming at us. I just wanted to talk to you guys about WandaVision today because I wanted to do a catch-up video. I'll do my very best to update you guys as the series continues instead of trying to group a bunch of episodes together, because I'm sure there's other stuff I would have talked about had I done individual videos. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. If you want to share this, make sure you share it. I've really enjoyed this series so far, and I'm looking forward to episode 7. And maybe we'll get some more Quicksilver knowledge. Maybe we'll get some Doctor Strange cameo, or maybe we'll find out who that aerospace engineer is that everybody's talking about. Fingers crossed for Reed Richards. Fingers crossed it's John Krasinski. That's my hope. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.